Hello, this is Cody Zine. Going to do a walkthrough of Imaginarium for the milestone 2A. So this is our starting area, Doodle Dog Fields. I think you guys have seen this from the previous milestones for the vertical slice. Yeah, so pretty pretty well polished here overall. We've got a nice overlook here where you can see the rest of the world and the land that's coming along really nicely. So what we're going to do is just kind of run through all the areas to show you the 100% terraform blockout. So here we're traveling to the next town or the next area, which is to Doodle Town here. This area is actually pretty well done over blockout too, with assets. As you can see, we've got a lot of it decor in here and whatnot. Cool quests that'll be going on in here with these black and white houses, but it'll be to change them back to color. So we've got a really cool mechanic for that coming up. We've got the doodle rabbits, which are really funny to look at. But yeah, really colorful area. This town is the villagers of the town, and these buildings are supposed to look like a little kid drew them, right? Little doodles and whatnot. So that's really cool. We have the portal for this area. Each quest hub area has its own portal where you will do the level up quests with the doodle dog. That's your companion. And that's what will produce the armor and the gear to help you. Moving along, we have this desert area, which will kill you if you get in it. We've turned that off for right now as we test. But you've got to use these slugs to get across the desert to get to the next area here. So it'll be a fun little challenge parkour. We'll still be tweaking the slugs as they move differently and whatnot, but you get the points. So we'll be following that along to the next area, which is Imaginary Friendsville, which is in this walled community. So a lot of these are placeholder blockouts of the buildings and this wall here, but you can kind of see the scale that we're going for. So this will be kind of the main city here for Imaginary Friendsville. A lot of fun characters in here that are already done. You can see some of them populated through here. Big buildings you can explore. This building right here behind us now is the factory, where we'll have kind of a epic mini boss fight there. With a lot of fun mechanics, fighting the paint buckets. Some more characters you can see. So it'll be a really fun quest hub here as you explore and get to interact with all these characters all the way to the roof. And then once you're done here, we will move on to the next area. All that we've been to on the surface now have been on the surface. All these quest subs are on the surface, but we have made really good use of the verticality of the land. You'll see here in a second. So we'll leave Imaginary Friendsville. We've got a little bit of a path here, some free exploration. They can make some choices to go to different areas. There might be some cool secrets or quests, funny quest moments with some NPCs out in different areas. So not such a straight line linearly quest-wise out here, which is kind of fun. A little bit of an open choice, but ultimately we do want them to go back this way, which will be the first teleportation portal to the Magic Forest. So that'll bring us down here. Here you can see this is more under development. We do have the blockout done with the blocks. You can see just the pathing and some of the elevation. But really what's going to happen here is assets for trees. We do have these placeholder trees, as you can see, as the blue cylinders. Those will be actually trees, but we're getting the size and placement of everything. If you compare this to the PDF map document we're providing along with this, you can see kind of what's going on there. This building here is blocked out. This is their kind of little training camp where these the creatures of the Magic Forest train the ideas and whatnot to do. So it's a little obstacle course, kind of fun parkour challenge to break up the story moment here. So there will be a quest to complete this to get to the top, which we will attempt to do now. So you can see the the difference of all of that. So some parkour, some climbing. The characters here are going to be really fun. Can't wait for you guys to see that. Then we've got some platforms, just trying to add variety to the level of difficulty here with everything. And then almost to the top, we've got another little spiral to climb here. But you can just kind of get the scale of the land. So this is now underneath the surface, but we've teleported, and it will be done so with visual effects and the lighting and what, to where it appears like we're, somewhere nighttime, magical, for us, where it's darker. Not that you're underground like we literally are. So this will be cool, but it'll be really lush in here. These big trees over here, if you remember, like Star Wars, like Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks lived in trees, these big huts and stuff. So it's similar to that, where we've got big walkways, similar to like also the Smurf experience from season 3, where you could go in and around trees or through trees and over trees and that sort of thing. That'll be in here, but in a bigger scale. We're much taller here. So we'll run around here and climb up here, so you can get an idea of how this is going to flow once you're up here. So it's really two basic levels. We've got the ground floor here, where we'll be doing quests, and then eventually we'll learn about having to go up to the tree to solve some quests. So we'll be climbing up up here. Again, these are all placeholders to get size and scale with the tree and the walkways and the huts here. But we feel pretty good about the scale of everything right now. So we'll follow this around. There'll be some really cool quests here. Basically, you're going to be fighting off some bad guys, all leading up to going to help the guardian dragon of the forest, which we'll show you here in a minute. But yeah, just showing you can go in some of these buildings. But over here on this platform behind us is kind of the big showdown platform, where we will go, and all the quests from this area will lead up to this moment where we are going to be fighting this giant eraser centipede monster that is trying to kind of imprison this dragon. So here on this platform, you have an epic little boss battle where you're fighting things off, different phases of the boss battle. Really excited about, well, all the boss battles in this one, but this one's going to be really cool. Yeah, so once you free the dragon, you've beat the boss for this level, you will be instructed to leave the forest. And to do that, since we did teleport down here, we will be teleporting to leave the forest. But it seems like the player is actually traveling there, right? But as we know, as game creators, it's actually killing the player and spawning them somewhere else. So we're going to go to that placeholder portal real quick, just to move us along in the narrative. So here's our placeholder portal for now. We'll go in. That's going to bring us back to the surface, and it's going to look like we left the forest. Now we're going to come to this. Yeah, so it'll look like we left the forest there. We'll come to this really cool moment where we're parkouring across these will be floating islands, leading up to this waterfall, which takes us to our next quest area, which are the caves of bad ideas. So story-wise, it's all about imagination and good ideas versus bad ideas and something's threatening the world. So down here, everybody leading up to this moment has led you to believe that the cause of the issues in the world are because of these bad ideas. So you're venturing down to this cave to investigate and try to figure out why, try to stop it. Eventually, as you know, if you've read the synopsis, the bad ideas are not the cause of this, and they really just want to be good ideas. So all along the caves here, we'll have different quests. You'll be exploring and crawling and fighting off bad other monsters down here, helping the bad ideas get good ideas. Some really cool stuff going on down here. But ultimately, it will lead you around to where the bad ideas live, their little village, and it's under attack by a greater threat. And you've got to go and have another little mini boss battle here for this area. So you can see we've got the basic Blockout. This will all be decorated with assets and whatnot, but to suffice for this milestone, this is our blockout for terraforming. This is where the village will be, in this big area where you'll do a big boss fight with this spider to kind of fight them. We'll reset in the water here. Once you do that, this way will unlock, and you'll be able to now climb vertical into the cave this way and go out the exit. So you've done everything you need to do here, and we'll go up to leave the cave. You'll have a quest to do so. We got a placeholder vine just to kind of get us up here. But as we leave the cave, the next quest will basically ask us to speak to the dragon, which we had saved from the forest. You're basically going to tell the dragon, look, I went to the caves. It's not their fault. They're not behind this evil. But it's going to be a little too late for that information, because this next quest area you come to, which is not by portal, we're actually literally traveling there back to the surface, which is kind of cool. But up here, this placeholder person will be the dragon. Here you have a conversation with the dragon, and this is the Viking village, the warrior Viking village. These are placeholder buildings. This is be a little village going on here, and there's an epic battle going on, a giant war with these eraser Vikings attacking the warriors, and a big battle going on here that you've got to do a couple quests to help them. Ultimately, it leads you to a really big boss fight around this portal here, when some of these paint buckets spawn, and you have to fight this giant cyclops. That'll lead you into the castle here. So we go inside again by portal. And here we've got 3 to 4 rooms that we go in. Again, this is just our basic blockout with the terraform for this milestone. This will be decorated and all of that. But as we go through the rooms, we'll be fighting more and more bad guys. This voice will be talking to us, and we're communicating now with what we thought. We already beat the biggest bad boss, right? But as we get further in the castle, we realize there's something else going on. A greater evil at work. That'll lead us down to the bottom floors of the castle here. And what that's going to do is we'll come to this final chamber through this portcullis here, and we come into the final boss room, where we come across the Nothing, which is at first this giant wall, like amalgamation of almost every kind of visual thing we've come across, like the paint buckets and everything, just here. We'll have a giant multi-phase boss fight here, fighting the Nothing. Yeah, this will lead us out eventually back to once the bad guy's defeated, that'll lead us back to the overlook where we started. And you can look out over the world and see that things are now in color. The sun is happy, the mountains are happy, everything's changed because of the good stuff you've done. So yeah, that's a quick run through of the blockout from A to Z here for Imaginarium.